particular revision I will take. Okay, so then you can easily remember things. Okay, so today we'll start. First one is storage. Guys, here it is in the storage, lot of names, each and everything, line by line explanation is there. So we'll go through that one. Okay. So here it is MBR and GPT. So how to start from, yeah, mine is required a paintbrush and notepad. Okay, guys, listen very carefully. Here it is. When you are inserted a new or a fresh disk, like I purchase a fresh hard disk, I inserted a fresh hard disk. So it will ask you have to initiate the disk. Initiate. Initiate disk initiation is there. So you have to initiate either as a MBR or GPT. You have to initiate either as a MBR or a GPT. This is a hard disk. You are inserted. You have to initiate it is as a MBR or GPT. Okay. If in case you initiate the disk as MBR, so already we discussed this one, but I'm telling because it's in the storage. Okay. You initiate it is as a MBR. So your disk you can able to create totally 4 primary partitions only. You can create 4 primary partitions. For example, someone send a message, screen not visible. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
for example, I have taken a 500 GB hard disk. You can take anything. Example is 500 GB hard disk I have taken. Okay. So for C drive, for first partition, I take a 50 GB, second partition 50 GB, so third partition maybe a 40 GB. You can take anything. Okay. So totally 140 completed. So I have taken another 40 GB here. 180 GB completed. Out of 500, I made a 4 primary partitions. Of course, we can't do it now. Today's our Windows system. Okay, whatsoever it is, 500 total disk space. I created a partition like this. So 4 primary completed. So then obviously you cannot able to do anything with this leftover. You can't do anything with this unallocated partition. This is unallocated partition. So what is a unallocated partition? How much it is? Total disk is 500. 180 is already given. So remaining is 320. 320 GB. You can't use it for anything. So you have to manage this 500 GB in a proper way. How it is? 500, 4 partition. The first one give 100 GB. Okay, for example. Second one give 100 GB. 200 completed. Third one, for example, just for an example, 100, 100 or 150, 150. It is easy, right? So this is 150, this is 150. This is better option. So 500 is completed. Okay, or you can use less 3 primaries. You can use as a 3 primaries. 500, 3 primaries. So how to split? So 200, 150, 150. Depends upon your requirements. You have to adjust. But if you think I do for primaries, and remaining as another partition, you can't do it. So keep it in that in mind. Okay. So either you exist in the 4 primaries or kind of stuff. Okay. But same thing, I'm going to rewrite in a different way. Same GPT, no difference here. So later on days, so it is like this. You can create up to 3 primaries, and fourth one is it's like a extended. I created a primary partition. I create a primary partition. I create a primary. Once it is completed, I've taken the remaining part as a extended partition. So this is extended partition. So 3 primaries. For example, I have taken 50 GB. This is also a 50 GB. Think like this is also a 50 GB. Just for example, you can take more also, no problem. It depends upon you, depends upon file system. Okay, so this is also 50 GB. Now, this is the primary, and primary. So what is this? This is called a extend. Okay, primary partition, 3 primary, 1 extend. Extend partition. Okay, in this one you can create a logical drives. Partition itself meaning is logical. Okay, so you can create a multiple logical partitions inside. Okay, logical like that. So it depends upon your requirements, you can create it. But in generally, access related ABCD. Okay, so totally 26 letters out of 26. AB are reserved for a floppy disk, starting with a C drive, C, D, E, F, like that it is there, right? So up to Z. So obviously total are 24 out of 24. 3 are for a primary in extended, so totally 21 extended partitions you can able to create. That is one calculation, but in another way, so number of extended partitions you can able to create it in a different way. But point is, guys, when you insert a new disk, it asks MBR or GPT. This is still MBR only, same 500 GB hard disk. Either you create a 4 primary, so remaining is useless. So you can choose 3 primary and remaining is extended. In extended, you can create a logical partition. Like I created 20 GB here, 30 GB here, 10 GB here, 50 GB here. It depends upon my requirements, I will create it. Okay, same thing only I write. Or you can adjust within the 3 primary or 4 primary also you can do it. Okay, if you want more partitions, 3 primary extended. Next, each partition size, how much size we can able to take it, how much size, maximum size, either this formula or this formula, the maximum size is of each partition is 2 terabytes only. Maximum size of the partition is 2 terabytes. Any partition, primary or logical partition, it is 2 terabytes. It is a maximum partition is 2 terabytes. This is called a MBR. So one more point I will add, that is a small star point. It is, guys, you are using a pure BIOS system, means your hardware is only BIOS, or your operating system is BIOS based operating system, not UEFI based operating system. It is BIOS based OS, or you are using pure BIOS hardware. Okay, So you insert a fresh hard disk. You insert a fresh hard disk. The hard disk is initialized, like you are installing OS. When you are installing OS into fresh hard disk, I'll type here installing OS into fresh disk. Fresh disk. When you're installing OS into a fresh disk, okay, the MBR based OS it is. Either it is OS is MBR or hardware is MBR. Means sorry, OS is BIOS or your motherboard is a BIOS motherboard. Okay, so when you are installing OS into the fresh disk, the disk is initialized as MBR type. MBR type. So remember that one. So the second point, guys, understand MBR?
Yes, sir.
So next one is GPT. I initialize the disk as a GPT, same 500 GB disk. Okay, it is a 500 GB disk. In this one, we don't have any primary, secondary, or a extended kind of things. All are like a primary partitions only. All are like a partition, primary partitions only. Okay, so actually the name is also not primary, but we have to tell like a primary only. Okay, because it's a prime main disk only, no extended, no logical kind of stuff. All are like a primary only. Okay, like this. In GPT, GUID partition table, so you can create number of partitions as per your requirement. Depends upon your requirements. The totally, yeah, here we didn't written, right? So it is in MBR. For primary or 3 primary and 1 extended partition. Okay, and number of logical drives can create in extended. Okay, so this is MBR GPT. Okay, next 2 terabytes. Partition size is 2 terabytes. Okay, so this is MBR and GPT. But in a GPT, how many you can able to create it? GPT GUID partition table. So actually I want to write this thing in a notepad. I'm writing here. Again I will write there. GUID partition table. MBR. What is MBR? Master boot record. Okay. Here it is 128 primary. Actually it is partition there tell, so there is no name called primary here or extended. So just 128 primary partitions. 128 primary partitions, no extended, and of course no logical. no extended, no logical drives. Okay. Support more than 2 terabyte. So in certain test work, up to 18 EB. As I am telling about from standard test book, standard test books like a Microsoft or we can say Red Hat test books. I'm taking not from the internet. Okay, so support up to 18 EB. Microsoft and Red Hat as per the reference. Some are showing a 9.2 ZB, 9.4 ZB. ZB means zettabyte. It is terabyte, not exabyte. It is terabyte. Okay, guys, terabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, zettabyte, terabyte. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is about your GPT. Okay, so this is here. Next, there is a point I have written, right? So there is that point I will write here. Same point only. For example, your hardware wise, your UEFI, you are using your ROM chip is UEFI. What is UEFI? Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. Your firmware is UEFI and that is R. This is R, but this is end. And your OS is also UEFI based. It is UEFI based means compulsory 64-bit. It is a 64-bit OS. Okay, so your hardware is UEFI and OS is also UEFI. Your hardware is UEFI plus BIOS and your operating system is BIOS. Then BIOS is there. Then it is BIOS. It is UEFI hardware and UEFI come BIOS. Your OS is UEFI. Means your operating system is either Windows 8, Windows 10, 2012 server, 2016 server, 2019 server, Red Hat 7 means Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 or CentOS 7 is a UEFI based operating systems. Okay, so UEFI is one of the internal feature. Okay, so what it is like that. So when installing OS into fresh machine, a disk is initialized as GPT disk. So that is important. So I have written normally here, but it is see, guys, your hardware is BIOS and the disk is your OS is also BIOS. OS is UEFI, hardware is BIOS. Your hardware is BIOS and OS is BIOS. Your hardware is BIOS, your OS is UEFI base means the primary properties UEFI primary. Okay, or your hardware is UEFI come BIOS, your OS is BIOS. In this time, in all this combination, your disk is initialized as a MBR, master boot record only. Your hardware is UEFI or UEFI come BIOS. UEFI come BIOS or UEFI. Your OS is UEFI. Your OS is UEFI, hardware is UEFI, then it is GPT. Then it is GPT automatically. Okay, so you can initialize it is a MBR or a GPT. You are a GPT GUID partition table, 128 primary partitions, and support each partition size is more than 2 terabyte. So you can write down, so like here this is support more than 2 terabytes. So this is your MBR and GPT. Okay. So I have not written anything on the screen, so I will put it again. Now you tell me, guys, what is actually it is partition styles, not types. It is styles are the types. It's called a style. Partition table format. We'll take like that only then. One is MBR, another one is a GPT. What is MBR, guys?
Master boot record.
Very good. What is GPT?
GUID partition table.
MBR for primary partition or tell me, no problem. One extended. In extended
Nological drives.
and create multiple number of or a multiple, any word you can use it.
Logical partition.
Multiple logical drives. Okay, next partition size support to 2 terabytes. Is the main important. So GUID, how many?
120 primary partitions.
Primary. Actually, it is no primary at all, but so we have to think like the one primary. No
No
extended,
extended. No logical.
no logical. Partition size support
2 terabyte.
more than 2 TB and 218 EB. So this is MBR and GPT. Guys, I'm going to my disk management, my personal computer. Look at here, you can understand by showing MBR and GPT kind of stuff, how it is looking. You look at this is disk 0, disk 1. Disk 0, right click. You can see convert into MBR. Convert into MBR. It means it is a GPT type of disk. So you can see there is a lot of partitions are there. In C drive, this is C drive, D drive, basic data partition, basic data partition, D drive, basic data partition. Okay, disk 1 is converted into GPT. It means it's a MBR disk. It's a MBR disk. Look at here, G drive, E drive, S drive, 3 primaries. 1 terabyte of disk I complete in a 3 things. Okay, so it is 200 plus 200 plus 531. I completed that one. Okay, so I'm going to my. I have 2 hard disks are there. That's why I can able to show you that one. S drive have a 88.5 GB. Okay, Z drive, F drive. This is E drive. So this is 88.5 GB is there. I will show you here. H drive. I'm going to shrink volume. Okay, H drive shrink volume. 88 GB free space is there. Okay, I am taking only 40 GB out of it. 40960 40960 40 GB. I am shrinking from out of 80 GB free space. Look at here. This is the primary 1, primary 2, primary 3. Okay. Unallocated means the black color. Primary means blue color. I can take any other virtual machine to show you that practical, but again it will take time, so I don't want to waste my time. Why it is taking too much time? Okay guys, when you going to shrink any volume, big volume mainly. So whenever you go to shrink any volume, which is you are using for so many days. In a virtual machine, we are just created and we are trying. But in a physical machine, so we are using the disk from so many days. The shrinking, before going to shrinking, do disk defragmentation. Disk defragmentation. Disk management, disk maintenance. Maintenance means you want to improve the performance of disk. Okay, so few things you have to do it. One is disk cleanup. Another one is disk defrag. Defrag. Okay, defrag. Another word they use, defrag. Fragment means pieces. Defrag means remove the uh, pieces part, means where the fragments are occurs, remove the fragments and resolve the fragment issues and make it as a simple. Okay, so for example, you have a data, you put a data, you remove the data, you insert the data, you're reading the data, modifying the data. So when you are accessing the data from the disk, fragments will create. Okay, so you have to defragment it. Okay, nowadays the thing is optimize. So disk optimization, disk cleanup, disk defragmentation, error checking. Okay, file system, error checking. So these three things are used to maintain your disk properly. I'll show you that options. Still it is rotating. So meanwhile I will go that one also. Okay, you can choose any disk. I choose F disk. Better is C drive. Always do it regularly on a C drive. At least weekly once or monthly once on the C drive. Do this. At least monthly once. Don't do daily. Don't do daily. Okay. So F drive properties, disk cleanup. You can see disk cleanup. If you click on disk cleanup, okay, a pop-up will appear like this. It is showing only two options. Okay, so you can go to clean up system files. There also you can select everything. You can clean up. Okay, if you choose this one, it will take time because a lot of options are there in a C drive. Disk cleanup. Okay, it will take time to collect. So guys, lot of people are like very intelligent way, percentage time, percentage prefetch, percentage, okay, temp kind of stuff. They will search it. Not required guys. Just if you click on click cleanup, everything displays here only. Everything will be displayed here on the thumbnails, temporary files, recycler bin files, internet temporary files, everything is here. Okay, including clean up the system files. If you click there, your past updated files, system updated upgradations, okay, recently downloaded, that is also will things will be here. You want to remove that one, also you can remove it. Okay, once you are done a cleanup, the performance of disk improves. Okay, and make sure your mainly C drive, OS drive should be showing in like this blue color, not red color. It is showing in red color, but it should be showing in blue. See, Windows update cleanup. It is solely taken 6.37 GB. Remaining are very less occupation, but can you see the thumbnails are there, but see it is solely Windows update cleanup. Okay, so this is total 6.99 GBs total space occupation. Not with the data, it is something like this 11 GB free. If I done that cleanup, I'll gain more than 6 GB. That is my disk. Next. So I said one is disk cleanup. Second one is go to tools. Go to tools, error checking. It checks for a file system errors. Error checking, okay, is check for a file system error. In your tracks and sectors, there is any problems is occur in a low level and a high level, like NTFS, FAT, file system related issues, or tracks and sectors, low level file system issues. It will check the errors and it is try to recover that tracks also, or it mark the track as like a don't put any data here, it will be corrupted. So it will check your disk for a error correction. Next, defragmentation. So this is the defragmentation, optimize and defragmentation of drive. So optimize. So if you click the optimize, see it is showing 0 fragments. Analyze. It is analyze your disk. Okay, how many fragments are occur. In generally, when you are very busy, so don't try analysis and all, because it slow down your system, of course, or it will take more time. So big disk, more time. Small disk, less time. Small data, less time. More data in the drive, more time. Okay, that's the thing. So it is analyzing my disk. So any fragments are there. If it is find some percentage of fragments, then you have to optimize. That is called a defragmentation. So to maintain the disk in a properly, do these things either monthly or bi-monthly, like that you can able to do it. So let it go. Mine is not completed. Why it is not completed, I don't know. You should create an unallocated partition. It is not doing that one. So why it is not doing? Again, I will open the disk management. See, 1% fragment. 1% fragment only. Okay, so you want to clean up. So go to optimize. Optimize. Okay, actually it is why it is showing a 1%. I didn't done any checking. Why it is showing a 61% chunk kind of stuff. Okay, it is to checking file system errors. Even I didn't done anything. This drive, because more data in it, so 500 GB disk full of data is there. Okay, optimize it. My system automatically checking the disk for optimization. That's why it is showing like that. We'll wait. So always remember, guys. Yeah. Meanwhile, I will tell you one more. That is, you can go to CMD, not CMD. Two ways to know which one is your MBR or GPT. One way I showed from the disk management. In another way, go to CMD, run as administrator, right click, run as administrator, or directly can click here also. So I'm typing disk part. Disk part is a command is to manage your disk. So, but don't do it, guys. Don't do disk part until unless you are very well known. Otherwise, practice in your virtual machines. Once you are good with that one, so do it on a physical machines if required only. Okay. Because of the disk related services. Yeah. Now list disk. List disk. So I have a two hard disk are there. One is disk 0, another one is a disk 1. Disk 0 is a 500 GB. Free space is nothing, for some MBs only there, and it is a GPT disk. DYN means dynamic. GPT means GPT. So disk 0 is GPT disk. Disk 1 is MBR disk. That's why GPT star is not showing. Okay, it is 931 means 1 terabyte of disk, 40 GB free space. It's a 40 GB unallocated. We shrink the 40 GB, 40 GB unallocated. Now I want to create a 10 GB drive in the 40 GB. Look at here, guys. Primary, primary, primary. 3 primaries completed. So I want to create a simple volume here, 10 GB, 10240, 10 GB. I want to create it. So NTFS only like this. See, obviously it become, see, it is extended partition. See the color. So 1, 2, 3. The fourth one, the entire 40 GB become extended partition. And 10 GB is a logical drive. 10 GB is a logical drive. 30 GB free space. 30 GB free space. Like that. In this one also I can create multiple partitions. I can create a multiple. So here it is 10 GB. I'll create 5 GB, maybe 2 GB. Like that I can create a multiple partitions. So look at here it is. This is a GPT. Lot of partitions are there. With a drive letter or not, with a drive letter or no drive letter, these are all partitions only. Okay, it is my disk 0 is a GPT partition, no extended. Disk 1 is a MBR, 3 primary completed, the fourth one automatically in the extended partition. So extended automatically creates. Inside extended we are creating logical drives. Guys, understand logical drive?
Yes, sir.
Even you can understand by PowerShell. Okay. Guys, understand MBR GPT difference. In MBR disk, in MBR disk, we can create 3 primary, 1 extended, and multiple logical drives in the extended partition. So it is my disk 0. This is my disk 0 is GPT. Disk 1 is MBR. Okay. To convert MBR to GPT, to convert MBR to GPT, you have to remove all the partitions. Okay, that is, we cannot convert directly. Convert MBR to GPT or GPT to MBR. Okay, we have to delete all partitions in disk. Okay, next. So here we created. So here we don't feel that one. So it is I drive is created, it contains the data. Okay. So if you don't know it is a logical drive or a normal primary partition, we don't know it. Just we know it is a partition. Okay. So I don't want anyway. I need more space. So I'm deleting this volume. It is become 40 GB free space. Still it is a extended. I'm deleting this delete partition. Now 40 GB unallocated. I'm adding H drive to this 40 GB. I combine this 40 GB to H drive. Extend volume. Yes. Now it is my H drive become normal. Okay. It taken a time because of H drive is big, lot of data. Now it is again 88 GB. So this is your MBR and GPT. One more point I will tell, then I will give you a 5 minutes break. Okay. Basic disk and dynamic disk. What is basic disk? Basic disk have a hard disk, that is a basic disk only. Again, I have to open disk management. Okay. So like this. These are individual disks. Individual partitions are created. If you see it is disk 0 basic and disk size, disk 0 basics. You can see convert into dynamic. Okay, convert into dynamic. Meaning is it is a basic disk. What is the purpose of basic disk? We create partition. Meaning is we divide a single physical disk into multiple logical disk. Okay, we divide a single disk into multiple disks. That is called we create a partitions. Okay, so that is single disk only we create. Main use is to install OS. We can install OS in the disk. Basic disk purpose is that one. What is dynamic disk? It is to create volumes. What is meaning of volume is combine two or more disks and create large size volume size. Okay, we'll combine two or more physical disks, two or more physical disks, and create a large single volume. So basic disk means single disk we divide in the basic disk, but in dynamic disk purpose is different. What is a dynamic disk? We can combine multiple disks. Okay, so not suitable for install OS. Okay, not suitable for install OS. Can implement RAID like a RAID volumes like a strip volume, stripped mirror RAID 5 and implement RAID volumes. Okay, and volume, write volumes like a stripped mirror and write 5 volumes you can able to implement. That is the main purpose. Okay. The main caution is do not convert. So I will put a point here. We can convert basic disk to dynamic disk without losing data. But cannot convert dynamic disk into basic disk without losing data. Convert basic disk to dynamic disk. We can able to convert it. We can't convert reverse. We can't convert it reverse. Okay. So to convert dynamic disk to basic disk, you have to delete all partitions, configuration. What are the things you done? You have to delete it. Partitions, configurations, volumes. What are the word we have used it? We have to delete it. So the point here it is do not convert basic disk to dynamic disk in your personal PC or laptops. Only we convert. Okay. So only for a convert basic to dynamic. To implement high levels only. Okay, in server. So this is basic and dynamic disk, guys. You can convert your basic disk to dynamic disk. Okay, but only for implementing volumes purpose only. So don't for just for fun. Also, some people without looking at they will convert their disk into dynamic. After that, when they ask, sir, it is converted into dynamic. What we can able to do it like this. So don't convert it, guys. Don't convert it. It is to understand what is the use. The basic disk is mainly for to create a partitions and install OS. Dynamic disk is combining a multiple physical disks together and create a large volumes. Different type of volumes are there. Stripped volume, spanned volume, mirror volume, write-five volumes are there. Okay, so you can convert a basic disk to dynamic disk by right click on a disk and you can choose convert into dynamic disk. Do not select it, just look at the option only. So don't select it, just right click and leave it like don't select it. Okay, so convert into dynamic disk. So when it is converted, so then it is converted without losing any data. But you want to go back to the basic disk, like something has happened, you want to reinstall OS, you can't install it. You can't install it. You want to do some practice because of its dynamic disk, you can't able to do it. Okay, partitions are there. but it is giving some problems. So do not convert your basic disk to dynamic disk until unless you require to convert it. Okay, so you want to implement any volumes, write levels and all, you can convert it, otherwise don't convert it. Okay, so this is a main. If you roll back to the basic disk, you have to delete all the partitions. Otherwise, you have search in a Google for a different type of commands. Are there using certain commands without losing data? You can convert back dynamics to basic. So this is the MBR GPT basic disk and dynamic disk. Very small topic only. I took a lot of time. That's it. Just guys, take a break. Okay.